Let's go back to the basics. What is your higher spiritual self and how can you recognize it? Hi, my name is Michelle Fondin. I'm the author of almost 12 published books, including this upcoming book. Now, this is a proof copy, so you can see the band going through it. This is the 8 Limbs of Yoga for Modern Times, a practical guide to the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. This is available for pre-order now. You can look at the link below, and it will be released on Earth Day, April 22nd of 2025. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for subscribing below. Click on the bell, scroll up to all for all notifications, and thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. I teach meditation on demand on my website. You get your personalized mantra from me based on Indian Vedic astrology. You can register and start that course right now. So let's talk a little bit about your higher spiritual self. A lot of you have come to the spiritual journey, your spiritual awakening journey, because some things were occurring. Some things have happened to you. And if you're interested in finding out more about the signs, symptoms of your spiritual awakening, I'll put my playlist right here so you can view that after this video. But your higher spiritual self, you might hear this term over and over and over again, and you're grasping it like a little bit, but you're not really fully understanding it and what it is and how it differentiates from your earth self, from your 3D self. And so I'm here to talk about it today. The higher spiritual self and that concept is something that I discovered back in 2003 when I was listening to Wayne W. Dyer, my first real teacher on this topic. It took me a while to fully understand what that meant. Higher spiritual self, what does it mean? In essence, your higher spiritual self is your soul. Now, you might be wondering, okay, I know I have a soul, or you might think you have a soul, or maybe you're just coming to the realization that you have a soul. Maybe you grew up without religion, or maybe you grew up as an atheist, or maybe you grew up with doubt. And so you might be thinking like, I thought I had a soul, now I don't really know. How do you recognize the soul? So the higher spiritual self is that part of you that is unchanging. Everything else on this earth plane changes. Your body changes, your mind changes, your opinion changes, your beliefs change, right? You know that one. Your beliefs change, your mind changes, you change an opinion, you change your likes and dislikes all of the time. Even your personality to some degree changes as you grow, mature, and learn. All of these things change. Your thoughts change. Your environment is constantly changing. In fact, the only constant in this life is change, and most of us are so resistant to change, and yet it is the only constant that remains. We are always changing. The earth is always changing. Everything in the physical universe is always changing. The only thing in you that is unchanging is your higher self, is your soul, is your spirit, is the part of you that is eternal. Your higher spiritual self is the part of you that was never born and therefore will never die. It is the constant. It is the peace of God within you. Whether you like the word God or whether you like the word spirit, source, universality, higher consciousness, whatever you enjoy, you can use that word. A lot of people are really allergic to words, and I would urge you on your spiritual journey, as you expand and as you grow and as you become more whole within yourself, that you let go of these labels, that you let go of the notion of, I'm allergic to certain words. Certain words just set me off, because it's not the word, but the feeling, the concept, the knowing. And if you know that there is an eternal essence within you that is unchanging, that is a knowing. And it doesn't matter how you label it. It doesn't matter what you call it. All that matters is that you understand the feeling of it. If you think about the eternal essence within you, what does that mean? It is the unchanging part of you that was the same when you were 1 year old, 5 years old, 10 years old, 15 years old, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. You get the picture. So it is that unchanging part of you. It is also called the observer. It is that part of you that has been observing you, the physical 3D self, as you've been going through changes. It's been the observer watching you as you develop and grow, as your body changes, as your mind changes, your intellect, and the changes that are happening all around you. It is that observer self. It is that present moment awareness observer self that is unchanging, that is not judging you, that is constantly loving you, and is constantly aware of your living, breathing presence. When you say, I was saying to myself the other day, that indicates two people. It indicates I and myself. And so when you say, I was saying to myself the other day, who is that self? Who is that self that you were talking to? That self is your higher being. That self is your higher presence. That self is your higher spiritual self. It is the unchanging nature of who you are. It is that which was never born and therefore will never die. I talk a lot about this on my channel as I talk about your eternal essence, the soul part of you, the integrated, holistic part of you that is a piece of universal consciousness, a piece of God. And I talk about this when I mention how you should not fear death, because death is really non-existent. Death is only shedding this physical body, the physical body that we know is not real. It's real while we're here, but it's not the real part of you. It's allowing ourselves to shed the personality, the ego of who we are, because that also changes. Your personality, your ego of who you are is really based on your agreements in this life, what you came here to do, the homework. I always call it the homework that you came here to do. And also the karma that you've accumulated through lifetimes. And that is part of your homework, is working that stuff out. Whether you've accumulated good or bad karma, positive or negative, however you want to coin the term. But sometimes we just have these things that we've agreed to work through. It's not limited to this life. It's limited to only what's in our minds, because the homework we came here to do is what we signed up for in this parenthesis in time. So in this short duration that we're here, we signed up to do certain things. And as a result, we took on a personality, an ego, a body, a mind, in order to do this. But the soul, the observer part of you, the higher spiritual self part of you is always there observing. It's there observing without judgment. It's there observing as you're moving through this life. And it's there to assist you on your path. It's not separate from you. It's a part of you. It's an integrated part of you. But it's also the part that is unconditionally loving, the part of you that does not judge you for not doing what you need to do when you need to do it. It's not chastising you. It's not telling you you're a bad person. It's just in observation mode. It is the witness. And you have this witness inside of you at all times. And so when you go into meditation, that is the point and purpose, is to reconnect with the loving essence inside of you, your higher spiritual self, to recognize that peace, because we can be so hard on ourselves. We can be so judgmental, harsh. We can have unkind words toward ourselves. We can do things that sabotage our efforts and the homework that we signed up to do. We signed up to do this. Nobody told us we had to do this. We signed up for this. When you realize that there is this ever-loving presence inside of you that is always rooting you on, it's always cheering for you and saying, you've got this, move forward, you can do this. You have that internal state of peace, serenity, harmony, happiness, and wholeness that is always with you. And when you shed the layers of the self, in order to find the core essence of who you are and live with that, live through that, you live a less chaotic life. You live in peace and serenity. Things don't seem so catastrophic when they happen, because you just shrug your shoulders and you say, okay, I'll try again. I'll try something else. I can do this. I signed up for this. My soul signed up for this. So if I, as a human being with a personality, ego, physical body, mind, thoughts, if I am not on the right path, I can get on the right path. It's not a big deal. It's about the journey and not the destination. I know you've heard that 100 million times, probably way overused, but it's very true. It's true that when we signed up to be here, we didn't sign up to do a homework, complete it, and then we're done. Because if you were done, you'd be dead, right? If you were completely done, you'd be dead. Because there would be no point and purpose for you being here. So the fact that you're still here means that you are still in the process of becoming. And I would highly encourage you to connect on a daily basis with your higher spiritual self. And again, through the practice of meditation, you can do this daily. And it's something I not only teach, not only preach, but it is something that I practice daily. And if you're interested, of course, I have my meditation course. I would highly, highly encourage it because guided meditations are wonderful. I like doing guided meditations. I like teaching guided meditations, sure. But a silent meditation with your personal mantra is the most efficient way to get to that place where you recognize your higher spiritual self and you stay tuned into it. It's like taking the easy pass on the toll road, right? Like you can take the other roads. I mean, hey, I live in Southern California where traffic is not great most of the time. So sure, you could take the 405 to get to Los Angeles. No problem. It might take you 2 to 3 hours to get there. But if you take the easy pass, I think it's called an easy pass. I don't even know. I don't use it in California because I work from home. But if you take that easy pass instead and pay a few bucks, then you might get to Los Angeles in 40 minutes instead of 2 hours. You get the drift? So meditation is just going to take you on a fast track in a silent practice with a mantra on the fast track to connecting with your higher spiritual self, because you can do it on your own. You're not relying on a video. You're not relying on an audio track. You're not relying on something else. You're relying on yourself to get you to that place. So highly recommended. I hope you can fully grasp this concept of your higher spiritual self and the observer. And if you're not sure yet, if you're still unclear, think about that quiet, still voice inside of you at different points in your life. Think about the memories of this life, very poignant memories, maybe at age 5, 7, 10, 13, 21, 35. Think of those poignant moments and listen back to your interior voice, the observer, what the observer part of you was thinking and feeling at the time. And then you can begin to connect with that eternal essence. People that have gotten older, often say, well, I feel like I'm 20, or I feel like I'm 18. I don't feel 50, or I don't feel 40, or I don't feel like I'm 65. I still feel like I'm 20. Well, that's because that's the observer part of you. The observer part of you, your higher spiritual self, is ageless, timeless. It is an eternal essence, again, that was never born, so therefore will never die. And so that's why as you age, as you get older, you still feel very young because it's the eternal part of you that doesn't feel age. And that is the best way, if you're at that age, to recognize your higher spiritual self. It's not the body that is beginning to have aches and pains, perhaps. It's not the body. That's not who you are. You are that eternal essence that says, I still feel like I'm 20. So I hope this was helpful in helping you to discover your higher spiritual self and exactly what it is. I want to thank you so much for joining me here today. Please do subscribe to my video below and share this video with those who are on the spiritual journey. Thank you so much for your support of my YouTube channel. You can purchase one of my 11, now 12 published books. You can join my meditation course. I also have an upcoming Dharma workshop, and I will see you in the next video.